Do you believe in unicorns? I do. I actually have good reason to believe in them. At least in the diabetic sense, right? It turns out that in the diabetic community, there's a term called unicorn. And it's said that you get a unicorn whenever your blood sugar is in that magic normal range of usually between 80 and 100. I've seen plenty of posts where diabetics will share their number. It's 86 or 90, and they're like, hey guys, I got a unicorn. Isn't that amazing? And I think that is amazing. But what I find unfortunate is that for most people, this unicorn is exactly that, a unicorn. What I find is for a lot of these diabetics, that getting your blood sugar in that range between 80 to 100 and finding a blood sugar there is so rare that they consider it mythical. What I want to do today is to tell you that you don't need to just find that unicorn and capture a little picture of it and say, hey, look at this great unicorn I found. Isn't that amazing? Instead, you can go further. You can actually hop on that unicorn and ride it around and ride that normal blood sugar for long periods of time. Now, of course, when you go and ride this unicorn, there'll be times where it'll buck you and you'll fall off because unicorns are very tough creatures to tame. But, you can still ride that unicorn for very long distances, for very long times, and find amazing blood sugars. Not just sometimes, not incredibly rarely, but most of the time. When it comes to taming type 1, what you're really doing is taming that unicorn. Instead of just capturing it for a single moment, you're able to capture the unicorn itself and have those amazing normal blood sugars, not just for a little bit of time, not just for a split second, but for hours and hours and hours. I'm able to do this myself. I'm able to check my blood sugar and see that it's 80, and then check again a few hours later, and guess what? It's 85. Now that might seem incredible to the average non-diabetic who doesn't have to worry about this stuff, but for a type 1, this is huge. Even after I eat a meal, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours later, I often find my blood sugar in that magic unicorn range. I'm riding that unicorn. It is possible. You can do it too. All you have to do is learn how to tame type 1. The way I do this is simple, and I go over it in my series, 3 Keys to Taming Type 1 Diabetes. You can do it too. It is easy once you know the technique. It revolves around eating low carb, it revolves around being consistent, and when you master all of these different techniques and managing diabetes the right way, you too will be able to ride that unicorn and not just boast about that normal level magical unicorn blood sugar once or twice, but boast about it all the time. You see me often posting about my trends, right? And there are times where my blood sugar is not perfect. Sometimes that unicorn bucks me off for a little bit. I get a little low or I get a little too high. But I'm still able to hop right back on that unicorn and ride it again and again and again for long periods of time. And it is so nice being able to do that. It is so nice being able to be confident in my blood sugar to the point where I know that I'm going to be in that normal range most of the time. I see a lot of diabetics, their preferred target range is between 80 and 200 or something crazy like that. And for me, my range is between 70 and 120, and I'm able to hit that almost all of the time. For some diabetics, this might seem impossible. It might seem impossible to ride this unicorn, but I do it every single day. I do it because I follow the techniques that I share with you in my series, 3 Keys to Taming Type 1 Diabetes. So please, if you're interested in that, if you want to just stop taking pictures and actually ride that unicorn, click below and watch my series and learn what it takes to truly tame type 1, to capture and ride that unicorn, and to find normal blood sugar. Not just a little bit of time, not just some of the time, but almost all of the time. That's all for now, folks. Keep taming that type 1 and learn what it takes to truly master your type 1 diabetes.